In the year 1999, Nigerians went to the poll after a long military rule. Since then, Nigerians for the first time enjoyed long democratic government, which lasted till date. Hello, welcome to your program Democracy in Action, the program that analyzes and educates you on the actions of democracy in Nigeria. My name is Comfort Olayinka, your host. Welcome to this week's edition of Democracy in Action. I am Comfort Olayinka. My guest today is a honorable member of the House of Representatives, representing Owan West East Federal Constituency. He is a scholar, a professor who has written more than 60 journals. He has served as an advisor to the former President Olusegun Obasanjo on policy and program monitoring. He has also served as a secretary to the Edo State government. He is no other than Honorable Professor Julius Ihonvbere. You're welcome to our program, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Sir, Nigeria has practiced uninterrupted democracy for over 2 decades. How would you rate the democracy in Nigeria so far?
Well, I would answer that in two ways. One, as a scholar of political science, a teacher of political science, and the other as a scholar in politics, as a politician. First, as a scholar. The fact that we do not have military rule, we do not have full-blown dictatorship, there is a constitution, there are political parties, we have periodic elections, one will say yes, there is democracy. But I will quickly add that this is what we will call illiberal democracy. Not liberal democracy, illiberal, in that on the surface it has all these features, but underneath is a lot of political gatekeeping, closure of democratic spaces, some degree of suffocation of civil society. There is also the fact that the political parties, are they really political parties? Are they performing the functions of political parties? I would say, as a political scientist, no. But they exist there. So the loop of connection between those who elect the politicians and those elected is still very, very weak. There's no feedback mechanism, and the dynamics of that relationship is still very, very weak. So we fared well, but not very well.
Talking about security, sir, can we say security agencies are doing enough?
I am one of those who believes that we are not doing well in the area of security. I'm not going to sit here and begin to say, well, the government is doing its best. No, the government is not doing its best. Boko Haram in one state cannot take Nigerian government 10 years to deal with. Come on. We other parts of the world have had this kind of problems. 10 years, and we're still saying we have technically defeated them, but actually not defeated them. The insecurity in Nigeria today is worse than it has ever been. During the Civil War, people were able to travel by road. Today, you cannot. I need to go to Mina now. I cannot, because everybody tells me that road is not only bad, but it is dangerous. You can't travel by road from here to Edo and to your own state. People are afraid. Even if you are not talking of assassins, you are talking of bandits. You are talking of Boko Haram. You are talking of kidnappers. Is this Nigeria? I think the president, who is the head, the commander-in-chief, needs to do a lot more to deal with these security issues. Because until they are dealt with, you cannot get the best out of Nigerians. So I don't think we're doing well there.
So what would you say should be done, the way forward?
Well, the first thing, I am part of those who believe that if you have a company and you have a board of directors and every year they return losses, the solution is not to pour in more money, is to sack that board and put in a new board. That new board will want to prove itself, show that it is different, impress you with new results. That is what we need now. I belong to those that say the security chiefs have outlived their usefulness and they should be changed. But it is the president's decision to do or not to do, but I believe it should be done. Second, we need to take security to the people. That is how other countries have dealt with these issues. We have to bring in the communities and constituencies, the rural people, their associations, make security everybody's business. Because I don't think these people who are bandits and Boko Haram, they are not spirits. They come from somewhere, they buy food from somewhere, they buy medicines from somewhere, they eat, they sleep like other citizens. But we must make security everybody's business in Nigeria, not just those people in uniform. There is no way that has worked. So I'm quite happy of this new development with Amotekun. While that is a reflection of loss of confidence in the formal security, and you can see that the North is saying they have one, the East is saying they have one, the South, I don't know what they are going to bring back, but the fact remains that this development is reflective of a willingness at the bottom, at the grassroots level, to take charge of the safety and security of lives and property and make Nigeria a better place. The government should encourage regional security outfits. The issue of state police must be encouraged so that people from particular localities will police those localities. They know where the criminals and crooks are. They speak the language. They know their mothers and their fathers. They know where they hide, and they know where to go and find them. So until we get that consciousness that democracy is everybody's business, security is everybody's business, and involve the institutions, the structures, the traditional institutions, the age groups, market women, everybody in this security issue, we will not solve the problem.
You are the Chairman House Committee on Basic Education. What can you say on the quality of education in Nigeria?
Quality of education today may appear to be more sexy, more inclusive, but the quality is much, much lower than what it was 10, 15 years ago. I mean, unless we want to deceive ourselves, we don't really have a properly structured and run educational system. It is not the fault of the minister or the PAMSEC or the Ministry of Education now. It is everybody's fault. It's a systemic decline, systemic decay, systemic dislocation, which we have not fixed. It is not just also pumping money into it. It is what are you pumping money into? Take, for instance, more inclusive, but the quality is much, much lower than what it was 10, 15 years ago. I mean, unless we want to deceive ourselves, we don't really have a properly structured and run educational system. It is not the fault of the minister or the PAMSEC or the Ministry of Education now. It is everybody's fault. It's a systemic decline, systemic decay, systemic dislocation, which we have not fixed. It is not just also pumping money into it. It is what are you pumping money into? Take, for instance, we built Almajiri schools. Are the Almajiris in the schools? No. So government can build, but it requires the political will in the states concerned to get them into the school, provide what will keep them in the school, and ensure they remain in school. We have over 13, 14, maybe 15 million children out of school who should be in school. That's not Buhari's fault. These children are in states, they are in local governments. What are the governors doing? Some governors don't even access their money with UBEC to enable them, build new schools and improve on the quality of the ones they have. Go to the universities. Many of the libraries are 20 years behind in the relevant literature. Some professors and lecturers do not have laptops in the office. They have no journals. Journals are there, so research is not taking place. Conferences are not taking place. How on earth are you going to produce students who know what is going on in the world? So for me, I think our education, we need to declare an emergency in the educational system. We cannot continue the way we are going. We have to show to our people that what made Singapore a third world country that has become first world, what improved Indonesia, Malaysia, what has made India such a strong, great country that if you go to Dangote refinery and petrochemicals, you will see Indians there managing the place. It's not because they sat down and were looking at the world. It's because they reformed the educational system. Encourage the instructors, encourage the students, put facilities, introduce new technology. Those who are now a disservice to the educational system should be removed. There are other jobs they can go. Every state should declare an emergency. Do a teacher audit. There are illiterates teaching. At least we found that in Edoda Oshomole. A woman who was on grade level 12 couldn't read her own certificate. But if Oshomole did not embark, on an audit, we will not find such a person. So I think if we really care about our children, we care about the future of Nigeria, we want to break new grounds in technology, in research and development, improve on what has been invented, we should declare an emergency in the educational sector.
You represent the good people of Owan Federal Constituency. What is your plan to bring your people close to the government?
Well, bringing my people close to the government is just, that is not a difficult thing. Is the government ready to come close to my people? Because I represent the people who have been marginalized, oppressed for a very long time. They have virtually nothing. The only federal presence there really is the Cocoa Research Institute, which is an outstation of the real institute in Ibadan. And if you go there, it looks like where a civil war took place. Rickety buildings, rickety structures that is not even properly funded. The people are loyal, they are hardworking, they are creative, they are innovative. They are patriotic Nigerians. But government has not treated them in the way that they deserve. Okay, so the issue is that our people are willing to participate in all government programs and policies that will benefit them, benefit the state, and benefit Nigeria as a whole. But for me, through my policies and programs, we're trying to create a whole new synergy, a new vision, a new path to growth, development, and democracy by mobilizing the people, investing in them, promoting skills acquisition, not just skill acquisition, but empowering those who undergo training, rebuilding educational institutions. And I'm happy that UBEC has been trying to do a few things before now, and they will continue to do it. We are trying also at the same time to see how we can get the youths of the states. We have 87% graduate unemployment in our federal constituency. Parents have gone to farms, suffered to take their children to polytechnics and university. They have graduated. They have certificates, no jobs. So we're emphasizing entrepreneurial education, trying to say, look, if you keep relying on government, it won't work. So the best thing you should do now is what can you do on your own or with others, particularly in agriculture, animal husbandry, particularly. If we're trying to do that, and also expose them to the markets for their products, because that ultimately, that is the end point of a farmer, to be able to sell your product in the market. We're trying to do that, and I think that if in the next 4 years we succeed in touching as many communities and constituencies as possible, we would have made a dent in the challenge of unemployment and poverty in our federal constituency.
What is happening in your state, Edo, about political struggle, the government and the state assembly?
All right. The Edo issue is an interesting one. You have an election. The 24 members are all APC. That's a good victory. Then the governor decided on his own to inaugurate or allow the inauguration of 7 because someone told him, and he believed it, that if you inaugurate them all, they would impeach him. And the question is why? There was no political quarrel. They are all APC members. There was no discussion at all, even on the public sphere or underground, that he was going to be impeached. And having done that, my colleagues and I in the House of Reps moved a motion that it was illegal. There is no House of Assembly in Edo even to this very day. Because the Constitution is very clear. You have to publicize the letter from the governor. And you don't publicize it with text messages. We have EBS, Edo Broadcasting Station. We have Observer. So even if you don't want to go far, this was not done. They haven't done that now, and we opposed it. The House of Reps sent a mission there. They came back and said it was illegal. What was done, it should be done again. And if not done, the House should take over the House of Assembly and do it. The Constitution allows us to do that. The Senate independently went to Edo, came back, had the same conclusion, even a stronger conclusion than the House of Reps. Not one of this has been done. Rather, the governor and his other custodians moved from one state to the court to the other, looking for injunction against taking everybody to court. So that has now snowballed into a full political crisis. There's no point in pretending. The governor and his government have done everything to drag the national chairman, Adams Oshiomhole, into this crisis. I want to say categorically, Oshiomhole has nothing to do with the crisis in Edo State. Absolutely nothing. To do with the crisis. It's not in his interest to have a crisis in Edo State. Obaseki was best man at his wedding. They were personal friends. They worked together for 8 years. He stopped all others and fought for Obaseki to become governor. Many people were not going to support Obaseki. He had to support him because Oshiomhole encouraged them to do so. So why would he want to create a crisis in his own state? He says that people want him to share Edo State money. We've asked him to name the people. He has not named one person who told him to. People have a right to ask him for money. He's their governor. They voted for him. They campaigned for him. They stood in the sun to vote for him. It is his duty to know whom to give and whom not to give and why. That is why he gets a security vote and other votes. So that infantile argument about they want me to share Edo money, this is just subtle blackmail. The fact is, he needs to do the right thing. You have all APC members. You are the governor. You should play politics. Not using violence, intimidation, destruction of people's homes, encouraging all kinds of extra-legal political activities, using all kinds of uncouth language on everybody, including the national chairman, so that you can demonize him and make it look like it is a fight between you and Oshiomhole. How on earth are you going to fight the Oshiomhole? You say you suspend the national chairman from one local government. A man was elected by 36 states and FCT. So I think the issue will be settled. I hope that the recent reconciliation committee, now chaired by Bisi Akonde, several reconciliation efforts had gone on before. The governor has rejected all of them. He has accepted this one. I pray and hope that they will succeed in reconciling so that he finishes his first term. The second term is not automatic for anybody. President Buhari had to go to primary to win, get his second term ticket. So Obaseki cannot sit down and claim, I have earned it, it is not negotiable. Come on, this is a democracy. Okay? He cannot say that. He has to go to the field with all others who also are interested. If he has been performing well, respecting the party, building the party, supporting the leaders, maintaining the leaders, which is part of political process, nobody will take the ticket from him. We will all go there and vote for him so that he can continue the good work he's doing. But if he has not been doing those things, people have a democratic right as enshrined in the Constitution and in the electoral laws to elect somebody else. It is democracy. Somebody was on this seat before me. Today I'm here. In 4 years' time, somebody else may be sitting here. Or I may still sit here if I have performed. If I have not performed, my people will tell me. So if Akande's, and I pray Akande works out, I really do wish him well. I will give all the cooperation I can to him to find peace harmony and progress for Edo people. We do not deserve what we have right now. It's unfair. The kind of violence, of tension, of insults, of insecurity, of uncertainty, of anti-social political conduct, they are not democratic tenets. I studied politics and I know these are not part and parcel of democratic tenets. So I don't wish I do well.
So what is your message to Nigeria in these trying times?
Well, my message to Nigerians is straightforward. This is our country. We have to build it. We have to protect it. Nobody is going to come here to do it for us. We have to put in everything that we have. So collectively, we must be involved in security and making sure we secure our people, our communities. In terms of economic growth and development, we should continue to take advantage of some of the policies that the government is putting out there, but also look inwards, form cooperatives, collaborate with one another, build on our very strong skills and creative and innovative abilities so that we can begin to earn a living through independent work. I believe that Nigerians must be ready for struggle, to struggle against any organization, any community, any individual, any official that stands against the path of progress, growth, development, peace, and unity in this country. And unless we do that, nobody will take us seriously. You know, if you make your bed rough, you lie on it like that. If you make yourself a doormat, people have a democratic right to step on you to get into the room. So you must stand and insist on your rights, stand and fight for democracy, because it's only in a democratic environment that we can speak freely, organize freely, act freely, and choose our leaders and representatives freely. They should not sell their votes. They should not engage in violence. They must realize that it is when you pick someone who has you at heart that the person will remember you when he gets to where he's going. I'll put it at that.
Thanks for joining us, sir.
Thank you very much.
We've come to the end of this program. Join us next week for another interesting program. See you.
Thank you.